The fight with empty houses. Russian army supported by lumpenized residents of Donbas and mercenaries has occupied Ukrainian city Vuglegirsk. Why lumpenized? At last, because a well-mannered and sane person won't urinate on the flag of country, on the territory of which he is. After doing their number one business, terroristic troops entered city even without knowing the name of it. Guys, what is the name of the city? Where are we? We at is the name of the city? Doesn't matter the name. It is ours. By Russian tanks and BMPs start shelling of the residential areas. Do you have high explosive anti-tank warhead? Yes, 6 ones, all 6 evenly to home, the best variant, the 3rd floor. It's necessary to set fire a house. Hello, Ukrainians. And it doesn't matter that at that moment there weren't any Ukrainian soldiers. The main thing is to leave a trace of mass distractions and to blame Kiev angry fascists. Or much better, he right sector, which set down a 9-story building and in heads of Russian TV viewers. It's almost 600 meters to the very 9-story building, where according to the last information the fighters of he right sector are. We are in 300 kilometers from the center of the city. The leaning is continuing. Except the fighters are punishing detachments of he right sector. The journalist has seen in some 100 meters the fighters of the battalion Zov, which indeed were in Mariupol. In 175 kilometers to the south of Vuglegirsk. Tanks fire directly, but according to last information, fighters of he right sector and battalion Zov are on the lower floors. The liberation operation is continuing. And of course, how you're not to mention Poles, who are almost in every story of Russian TV. The commander of Special Services Company, call sign Alkin, is preparing the final attack on the center of the city, because they're the only multi-story buildings, surrounded by punishing battalions, fighters of he right sector and mercenaries from Poland. Because in the consciousness of Russian fascists, the right sector and Poles are equal. You can hear shooting, they are leaning as we know. Poles in 70 meters distance, jumped from here and run to Motorola. Smile, you came to a kindergarten. Liberators imbued with spirituality in the process of sowing the ideas of the Russian world, so as a result, fight not only against empty houses, but against asphalt and even between each other, arranging seances of education fight. Vuglegirsk, as well as other lands where Russian occupiers set foot, turned into a dead city. The local couldn't come back here. The policy of genocide which is carried out by Russia against Ukraine people doesn't have such an opportunity. While viewers ecstatically watch quite interesting reality show, they continue to consume false information. The main thing on the federal TV channel Asia 1 is not just to blame Ukrainian army instead of Russian one on mass murders, but also to enumerate a sense chain, women, children and elders. From here to Gorlovka, Yanakievo and neighboring towns, Ukrainian artillerymen sent a ton of deadly iron and debris, killed hundreds of innocent civilians, women, children and elders. Seance of hatred has been invented for every minute, reminding whom Ukrainian fascists prefer to kill. Now we are in the northern part of the city. The locals are escaping from shelling. Life corridor has been provided by DNR Army. Civilians, the very women, children and elders contrary to voiceover don't run away, but contemptuously look at operators. These quests haven't been invited. On this shot is a typical representative of Donbas. His face shows hatred to Kiev punishers. Pay attention at the attempts of journalists to represent a danger. He bends down like avoids bombing. Although, the locals move slowly. It's a classical example of unsuccessful creation of current affairs illusion by Russian propaganda. The facts don't exist in fact. The residents are intimidated and made to leave the city for further destruction of their homes and close the way home for them. In this way, the assumption about the RF is creating something like Ossetia at Donbas is approved. By destruction of infrastructure, Kremlin authority tries to force official Kiev to give up regions of Donbas occupied by Russia. However, in contrast to 2008, the plans of Putin aren't destined to become a reality. The entire civilized world is on the Ukrainian side. Default becomes dangerous for Russia. 70% of Russians are against the war against Ukraine. The intoxicated by Russian propaganda residents of the east of Ukraine start realizing who are their real enemy. Today in Slavyansk, economy works, peaceful sky is above head, warm, salary are being received, and in general, life is become more stable. If we compare the situation slightly southern, hungriness, cold, poverty and DNR. They just haven't tasted what is Putin. In case they'll taste, would turn their backs upon him. Support of this video channel is just your attention. Please, use the options under the video, like, share, subscribe, and add to your playlist.